Hello and welcome to Newsphere Business. My name is Ronald Hughes, and today I want to talk to you about account management, the difference between being an account manager and being a salesperson. Interestingly enough, an account manager is a type of salesperson, but so is customer service representatives, and so is everyone else. But what's different in account management? Well, really, the first and foremost thing that you have to understand is that an account manager is somebody who is responsible for building the business of their client. Their job is really to work to integrate the product that they are selling into their customer's portfolio normally, about how the customer will utilize the product, rather than making sure that the customer is sold on buying the product. Usually in account management, the customer already has purchased or agreed a purchase of the product. And what you need to do as an account manager is to help the customer to gain further access and to better understanding as to opportunities that they can make with the product or service. One of the things that we're looking at when it comes to account management and dealing with customers in an account management position is about relationships. It's important that we establish a strong bond in our relationship, because we really need to confront the customer in a time when in time for them to buy the product or service. Often what that means is that you have to challenge them. It isn't like a normal sales role in the fact that what we do is we work them in and we're very, very softly, and we may come in with confrontation at the back end. Often what happens in an account management position is that you have to chase the customer to understand why it is that they don't want to look at a new product or service, or why it is that they haven't been moving something that they possibly could have been. Challenging. Yeah, you have to tell somebody what you believe is going on. And what you can't do is although it's confrontational, what you can't do is you can't get involved in any sort of anger fashion. You can't be in a position where you lose your temper with a person and they can't be losing their temper with you. So it really is a very delicate position. And often what has to happen is that you have to have a relationship where you can converse and listen very carefully to a person in a very relaxed manner. Account managers are people who can sit in front of someone and they'll never know that they've been sold to. There's somebody who can question in such a way that they get a good understanding and feel for what the person finds easy and what they find difficult. Often what happens as an account manager, your client is somebody who's going to find certain things difficult, and maybe financial, and maybe that they have some sort of lack of flexibility when it comes to timelines, or it could be that they really just don't want to get involved in something more extra work, putting out more than they already have, without seeing a clear benefit at the back end of it for themselves. And it's really hard sometimes for you to present that clear benefit to somebody who isn't looking for it at the time. And so what happens is that you have no clear demonstrable need in an account management position, but you have to fathom out the position for the customer's point of view. You're constructing in a solution sale, very much so, where it's other more complicated sales, and you have to gather an awful lot of information at one time. It's important that you ask an awful lot of questions. And it's also important that you stop just focusing on a key aspect of the business, that you float around a little bit more, that you think in a more abstract form than in the straight and conscious positions of looking at a particular type of hardware or a particular type of software. You got to get a whole picture. And in order to do that, sometimes it's quite difficult for a lot of people to think outside of their normal routine. You got to break up the trends. Now, the first thing is that because it's relationship based and because it's so difficult when it comes to this, is that you got to start out your relationship really liking the person that you're dealing with before you start asking them a lot of questions. If you don't go into a relationship with the idea that the person whom you're meeting, the person who you're talking to on the phone with, isn't somebody that you love, you're going to react in a very different way than you do if they were a good, tight friend. Yeah. I find it so much easier to deal with customers whom I get on with, that I really care about. And the secret to that for me is that I seek to care about all of them. I'm not one of those salespeople who goes out and chases money. I have really virtually no interest in money. And I have a lot of interest in what capital can buy me, and I do have an awful lot of things that I require that capital can buy me. But what I'm looking for when I'm sitting in front of a client is I'm looking for the other more important thing, which is kudos. I'm looking for the customer to like me more after I make the sale than they did before. I'm looking for other people to hear about how well I've treated this customer, and so that they buy from me. The idea of account management is that you continue to build on to your relationship, and to the point that that business that you own, that personal relationship that you own, is where you gain your capital from. And that's important. Look, my name is Ronald Hughes. Today's talk, account management, I'd love to hear some feedback from people as to what they think and go from there. In the meantime, thank you very much.